very pleasure to be here this morning. I won't take much of our time. We're talking about how to sell. Okay, can I please have a marker? Is it mine? Okay. Thank you. Okay, yeah. So the thing is how to sell, right? And she said how to sell online. You know, how to sell online is actually a compound, like a compound message. What are we selling online? That's what we need to niche down to. What do we want to sell online? So before that, I want to ask a question to the house. Like, who does selling here? Who sells? Okay, daddy sells, you sell, you sell. Daddy, do you sell? I think everybody sells. Fine. We're on the same platform. So, and I know everybody's not selling online yet. We are not selling online yet. But just do a little breakdown of what selling online actually means. Daddy has actually said a lot of things. But you know, the way he said it, there are a lot of big grammars there. But I'll just break it down to that understanding that we need to sell. So now, selling online is in two ways. It's either you're selling information. These are the two things you can sell online. Information or physical products. That's if you are into e-commerce. But Ebony World is selling this information. We are not selling physical, apart from our
between the entrepreneurs inside Ebony, we have products that we are selling.
So now, okay, now let's say Ebony World is into this. Fine. So we're going to use Ebony World as I'm going to use Ebony World as my customer avatar today. So selling online. What are we selling online? Let's use Ebony, like I said earlier. Now, I got a question from one of our colleagues here, like how can we market Ebony? I think that was what we asked the last time. And I was like, selling Ebony to people is very, very simple. We just have to make them understand what Ebony is all about. And when you're selling, I want us to note something. Don't sell benefit. Don't sell benefit, don't sell features. Sell transformation. Now, I'm an online business marketer. And I could remember back then when everything was not really that good for me. But when I got into the online system, everything changed. And if I want to sell to you now, probably I'm selling you an information that would make you money. That when you join Ebony World, these are the benefits you would see. I'm not just going to tell you, come and join Ebony World. The first thing is Explorer, Navigator. No, I'm not going to do that. The first thing I'm going to do is, this is Ebony World. After I give you an education about Ebony World, I will leave you for like a week to go and rest. Like what Adi said earlier, don't take no for an answer. It is correct, but in this our age, you must take no for an answer. Because a rejection does not mean you are rejected. No. A no does not mean you are rejected. A rejection now, or let me say a no now, means I am not ready to buy. That does not mean I'm not buying for life. So when you have a customer that you're trying to sell to on the online platform, and the person tells you no, all you have to do is go back to your chats. If you're having a WhatsApp chat, go back to the chats. If you're having an email chat, go back to the email. Study the chat one after the other. The way the person is replying you, you would know where you are wrong in your sales message. Then you will craft. That is how I sell. When I'm trying to sell something to you and you're like, you're not interested. In fact, I love you for saying you're not interested. Because at the end of it, you'll be the first person to buy my product. You're not interested because you've not seen the transformation of what that thing has actually done to me. People want to see transformation. So now, in Ebony World, people want to see what Ebony World is into, what we can actually do to them, and how you can actually transform their life. I can actually tell you, Ebony World will give you a loan and will not ask you, that's a benefit. People will say, fine, they will give me loan. People that decide to run away, they will not chase it. People love to hear free things. But when you sell transformation to them, Now, I was not part of Ebony for like, let's say, 2 months ago. Now I've joined Ebony. I've learned a lot of things. It is that transformation I want to sell now. So how do I sell that transformation to them? The first thing is through education. You need to educate people. There's nothing you want to sell online without education. Like, let's just say, probably you want to sell a shoe. Now, that is wearing sneakers. And you want to sell that in sneakers. And if you just come out and say, hey, everybody, this is my sneakers. Everybody will see your sneakers. Like Daddy said, there's a difference between want and need. In fact, additionally, there's desire. Those three things are three different things. There is desire. Now, you want to sell Daddy's shoes. As a person who is into selling and you're not very good with selling, just come out, probably write a sales copy, people will see it and they buy. Probably you make like, let's say 3 sales, 4 sales. But if I just move into that same market you are selling to, I will get more sales than you. How? Because I'm not going to sell that shoe. But I'm selling the same shoe. I'll just bring out that shoe. Do you know how to make your shoe, how to stop your shoe from smelling after you've worn it? Those are the things I'll start educating you about. Things you don't even see it as, you don't see them as a need to know. I'll start telling you why you need to make your shoe, like how you need to keep it safe, how you need to prevent it from smelling, the best brush to use to wash it, the best detergent. By the time I'm done explaining all of those things, and I come out and say, buy my shoe, you will gladly give me your money. In fact, you'll be throwing your money at me because I have given you value up front. I've taught you how to actually use a perfect shoe. So it's not about just coming out and saying this is actually the shoe. It is selling a solution ahead. And the best way of selling is relationship selling and selling problems. Sell problems. I thought they were like, what do you mean by sell problem? I said, sell problem in the sense that this is your product. What can this product solve to people? After you know the problem this thing will solve, sell that problem first. Leave the product. This marker would actually make us write on the board. Why do we need a marker? Let them know. I had a conversation with a shawarma person. This is actually a case study. And the person was like, I said, no, if you want to sell more on WhatsApp, because I do WhatsApp marketing, there are things you need to learn about WhatsApp. And she was like, wait a concern. And she could just wrap the shawarma, upload it on our WhatsApp, and people would actually make order. I said, yes. You guys are still fond of television advert. That's traditional selling. I don't do that anymore. And I was like, why don't you educate people about shawarma? Like me, I only eat shawarma once a month because of the mayonnaise. That thing is acidic. But people don't know. People eat like shawarma 10 times. Because you are educating them, doesn't mean they will not buy 10 times a day. Oh. But she thinks that if she educates them, they will not buy. Yes. And that is actually a fixed mindset. She already have a fixed mindset, not a growth mindset. So selling is not just you coming out and selling. It's seriously broken down. Your mindset is part of it before you even jump into selling. We're talking about selling today. So like I explained the entire thing to her and she said no. That she's not ready to educate people. She'll just roll up her shawarma and start selling. And I was like, fine. Then sell. Let's see who's going to make the sale. She posted it on her WhatsApp. She got like 10 sales. Due to the fact that she has a lot of Yahoo boys on her contact list. A wrong audience. And I was like, okay, fine. I don't even have Yahoo boys on my list. I have people that are ready to make money on my WhatsApp list. If you're not ready to make money, I won't even make you as a friend. Then I actually started educating people about shawarma. Then I started posting shawarma. I got 25 sales in 2 days. And she was like, but why don't you help me continue posting? I said, no. I only did a test run. I did a video and I sent to her. I only did a test run for you to see what you are lagging behind. Because Nigerians don't value education that much does not mean they are not ready to learn. So information marketing is very, very important when you're trying to sell online. And whatever you are selling online is key. Like I said earlier, education upfront. The second thing about selling is your personal branding. I'm going to be using Elon Musk as our example today. Elon Musk is actually a reputable brand on its own. If Elon Musk comes out and says something about Tesla today, everybody will just jump into it and invest in Tesla. So your personal branding is important. And Daddy made mention of that at the end. That's what we call self-promotion. in what he said last. So information marketing, you have to have your own personal branding. It's important. You can't, like now, the way that he's dressed, everybody's dressed. And probably, let's say, somebody else comes in now and see the way we are dressed, and we're actually listening to a voice. If he's coming in here to cause a trouble, the first thing we'll do is to sit down. Because here we are already branded. He has seen that this is actually an organized setting. You can't just jump in and create a chaos. It's not possible. So personal branding is important when you are selling online. Personal branding. And there's no particular way of selling. There's no particular way of selling. When you know what you want to sell, you must know the problems you are solving with what you're selling. You must have your own personal branding. And another thing is customer avatar. That is the problem we are facing in Nigeria. If I ask people, like my colleagues on the online niche, they make money online niche, our coach was asking some of them, like, who are you selling to? And the next thing is like, okay, me, I'm selling to anybody that is essentially making money online. I was like, how can you be selling to everybody that's ready to make money online? That's a wrong thing. Like, if I tell that they're ready to make, he might say yes and does not need it. That is a wrong customer avatar. My own audience, who am I selling to? I am selling to Ruth. Who is Ruth? Ruth is a student that just finished her NYSC, and she's home doing nothing, and she's looking for what to do. I already have who I am selling to. You does not have, like, when you are selling to everybody, you are selling to nobody. If I am to send a message to Ruth, I would tailor my message that would fit into Ruth as a character. And when somebody like Ruth sees the message outside, it will be like the message is talking to them directly. I get more sales other than the person that is talking to the entire world. There's a company in the US, I've forgotten their name. They are into insurance. And for the past 35 years, their sales is not really coming forth. But something happened 2 years ago. Because if you want to be a sales copywriter for that company, you must come into that company. The company will train you to be their preferred sales writer. Now, they actually built their own customer avatar 2 years ago. And the customer avatar they built is a man of 75 years that has worked probably, let's say, 35 years in the government, has a cash, some amount of money, but he does not know where and how to invest it for him to have a good life and his kids. So they developed a customer avatar. After they developed the customer avatar, their copywriters started writing copy sales to people that are within that age frame. And they got more sales. They got more sales ever they've been getting in the last 35 years. Because they were able to discover who they are selling to. Selling is not something you can just say, I want to jump into. There are things you need to put into consideration. You must understand your customer avatar. You must know the problem you're solving. You must know the niches you are solving. You must know where your customers are sitting down and gathering. That's another thing. It's also under customer avatar. Now, customer avatar is just the personality you're selling to. And if you want to sell to mommy over there, looking at her, it shows that mommy is either a Christian or a Muslim. I don't know. Let's just say she's a Christian. Ma? No, I don't know maybe she's religious. I'm just saying probably she's a Christian or a Muslim. But with the setting of her hair, shows that she's a Christian. And she's a churchy type. And if I want to sell to her, she's not the kind of person that is always online. She's always offline. If I want to sell to her now, or people like her, all I have to do is to be a member of their church. Because that is where people like her are gathered. It is not just all about selling and selling and selling. No. Understand what you are selling, who you are selling to, and where they gathered. What are the things people you want to sell to? What do they like? Just like the way Sister Mary actually talked to me about Ebony before me joining and all of those things. You know, there was a day she normally brings up a conversation. I would just laugh. Fine. No, this thing is actually cool to me. or just giving it time. Time. And there was something she did that actually ignited me to join. So, it's she never relents when it comes to following up. She never relents when it comes to following up. And that is what selling is all about. Selling is not even about pitching your idea. But pitching your idea is the easiest thing you can do about selling. But follow up is the hardest thing about selling. Because people don't.
There's a type that doesn't like, you feel like insult. That maybe the person, when they keep saying no to you, you feel like it's an insult to you. So you don't want that. So you don't do them away.
Yeah.
No, but you make it.
Yeah. Now, there's something I've discovered that I did a research on, and even at the class of run. It's called the follow-up technique. There's a way you follow up people. And before you do follow up for anybody in between these niches, the first thing you must understand is your customer avatar. It's very, very important. Your customer avatar. Okay. It's a not a E. Probably need to go and improve my spelling. So it's customer avatar. When you understand your customer avatar, it makes it easier for you to sell anything you're selling online. When I know where mommy is gathered and I kind of likes of people, I go there, I mingle with them, and I give them the idea of what I'm selling. I won't even give them what they need to hear. I will give them what they don't need to hear. Because when you give people what they need to hear, they will not be listening here to you. Because it's like, momo now, momo. But when you tell them what they don't want to hear, they will give you a listening ear. Selling is just like a reverse move. You need to understand selling very, very well to sell. Selling is a reverse move. So when it comes to following up people, you must understand this, like I said earlier, understand customers' avatar. And when you understand customer avatar, you will know how to tailor your message to people you are following up. And there's another thing in selling that you must understand when you're following up a prospect or a client. Human beings are just like flies. They flew everywhere. And there's something you need to understand. Probably, let's say, the personality of daddy here and the personality of mommy here might just be like 10% different. When you're doing your customer avatar, it might just be 10% different. You need to understand the both of them. When you understand the both of them, that okay, daddy and mommy, their personality is just 10% different. They can still actually merge together. Then you create a list for them. The kind of message you'll be selling to this group of people will be different from the kind of person you'll be sending to person in between, probably let's say 21 to age matters, and yeah. So the way you tailor your message to people, it's how they would perceive you. And you as a seller, you are not the one to measure value. You don't even have value. It is the people that are listening to you that will tell you that person has value, not you that will measure the value. It's the receiver that measures the value. So, sorry, am I communicating? Okay, thank you. So I'll just do a little deep about this information marketing. The things we actually need. Social media. Social media. Internet. Now, when it comes to information marketing, whatever you're selling in terms of information, these are the three things you need. You need your social media handles, you need telemarketing, that's your phone, and you need internet. You can't be somebody that is selling and you love selling so much and you always do 15 naira data. It's not possible. You must be online 24/7. I can't even remember, since I bought my phone, I can't remember the last time I off my data. Unless my phone is off. My data is always on. Now, internet is very, very important because this is where your money is. This is where people are keeping your money. And for you to get your money out of their pocket, you need your phone to access them. And for them to access you now, you need a social media handle. Now, there's something I taught some of my students called $1 a day strategy. $1 a day strategy is actually something that would drive this thing for you, your social media handle. Even if you don't have followers, you don't have audiences, you don't have anything. Now, what you need to do on this social media is to sell problems to people. This is what I'm selling. I'm selling Ebony World to the people. Why do I need to bring people to the Ebony World? What are the transformations? Where has Ebony World taken me to so far? Have we gone on an excursion? Has Ebony World hosted probably, let's say, a talk show, a retreat, stuff? No. If there are things like that, there has to be a video that would show evidences. Those are the transformation people want to see. We are in a world that sells video, not pictures anymore. Who wants to see the transformation from here? And you sell the problem from this same place with the help of internet. And like what Daddy has said, part of what Daddy talked about, your design is important. Your design is important. And when you are selling, your customer avatar, like I said, is important. And the second thing is, who do you want to sell to? The luxury market or the non-luxury market? In fact, recently I've stopped selling to Nigerians. Nigerians are the hardest people to sell to. You will send them a video to go and watch. After 5 minutes of, like, the video is an hour video. After 5 minutes, they will tell you they are done. And you'll be like, how did you watch an hour video in 5 minutes? I don't understand. They never watched it. And they will come back asking you questions that you've answered in the video. And now, the reason why that is happening is because the branding is not enough. The personal branding is not enough. When you have a superior personal branding, when you speak with authority, when you tell people, sit down, do this and do this, they will sit down and do this and do this before they ask you any other question. But if that authority that you carry is not enough, you get challenges like that. People will just be asking you questions they're not supposed to ask you. So what I did like 2 months ago was that I automated all my processes. I made access to me even getting more than recently. I automated all my. Once you message me, I'll send you my Google Drive link. You go there, you fill the form, you answer all the questions there. Once you have done answering all the questions there, you see the video tutorial there before you come and meet me. So don't come and meet me with what is this thing. I don't want that. That is personal branding with the help of social media. Your designs are important. Like what Daddy has said earlier, your designs are important when you are selling to people. The luxury market has a color, which you must understand. The luxury market are the olowo, the people that are wealthy, that can afford to buy a high ticket, probably let's say a goods of like 10 million naira without even checking their account balance. Compared to a Nigerian person that wants to buy a goods of 5,000 naira and still be asking you a question that will happen in the next 20 years, 10th century. Because of that 5,000 that will come out from their pocket, they are ready to ask you questions that will devour you. But the luxury market will not give you stress. So, and for you to attract the luxury market, it is still the same thing. Whatever you are selling, in this niche or this niche, you need social media. And not just social media. Don't be in a haste to create a social media handle. The first thing you must consider is a name. Which name am I going to use for my social media handle? It must be a name that, just like the easiest name here is Ebony World. Just 2 syllables, Ebony World. Easier to pronounce, like anybody can actually have it on their head and it will last long. Don't have a name like so. Don't just have a long name that would be very hard for people to communicate with. And your name should be able to talk about what you are doing. What you are doing is very important. If you check the place, Magrelos, all these eateries, they have, I think, 3 colors: green, red, and yellow. All of them have the same color. Now, you selling, you must have a color. The reason I said it must have a color is because if someone is trying to locate your page on any platform and they can't remember your name, but if they remember your color, do you know they will find you with an hashtag? Once you put an hashtag, let's say blue and white color, any design that has blue and white, Instagram will dig it out. Social media will dig it out. So you must have a color that people would actually remember, a color that would actually sink into their head. So social media would do all of that for you. You can, any social media you want. Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. Yeah. On your Facebook page, you know, when you upload stuff like that, you upload it in graphic, not just like the regular, this is a graphic. And this has multiple colors. So you will have your own brand color. You might be purely plain white and you have your text on it as blue. So everybody knows that this page, once you get everything you see is white and blue, white and blue. You already have a color. So that's design. It's very, very important when it comes to social media. And the second thing is your telly, your phone. Like I said earlier, you must have a good phone. It must be updated. It's not the 3310 you were using before to sell touchlight that you'll be using now to sell information marketing. It's not going to work. And the other one I said is internet. I've talked about that. So let's just move to physical products. How do we sell? I think everybody here sells physical products, right? Okay. So that is, you sell cream. Agoya. Okay, fine. Mommy, what do you sell? Oh, catfish. Okay. Daddy, what about you? Okay, books. Okay. Mommy, what do you sell? Farming too. Ah, everybody is into farming. Probably has come and learn farming from. Yeah, that's true. Farming has its own side as well. So when it comes to selling physical products, this is much more stressful than selling this, because a lot of things has to be put in place to sell one thing. There was something I saw online yesterday, and I sent it to someone, that the person should go and place a order of like 30 pieces. I gave the person a sales copy, everything she needs to sell that thing. I made a video. Then on Monday, start posting this thing. People would buy it from you. And what's the thing? It's swimming-proof phone case. Everybody wants to swim, but they want to take pictures underwater, but they can't afford to get a phone that is waterproof. Now, I have seen their problem. What I'm going to do is create a sales copy that will talk to them directly, that will force them to go and swim. That is me selling a physical product. Your sales copy, your message, your sales message must be able to tailor to the mind of your desired customer. And when you are doing this, like that I said in one of his talks, delivery, it's important. And the other one is cost. In fact, you see here, this one and this one has customer relation. The customer relation of this one can be automated. You can automate this one. But you can't automate customer relation of this one. You can't. You can create a chatbot for this one, probably on Facebook or WhatsApp. You create a chatbot where the chatbot will just, it's a robot that will reply customers for anything. But you can't do that here. Especially when you are selling to Nigerians. You can't automate this completely. Because Nigerians are, they are kind of a crazy people to sell to. They will stress your life. No, it's their fault is because they are not grounded with information. That's just it. So selling physical products, you need to understand what you're selling. Understand what you're selling. It's very, very key. And when you're selling physical products, you must know how to drive people to buy what you are selling. You can't sell a physical product of 10,000 naira when you have a WhatsApp contact of 50 people that can barely afford a 6,000 naira subscription in a month. So when you're selling, let me just say, 10,000 naira ticket in Nigeria now is a high ticket. Selling in Nigeria currently is a high ticket, but people are broke. It's a high ticket. So when you're selling 10,000 naira ticket, what you need to do is two things. You generate more leads. When you generate more leads, you talk to them. That's when they come to your DM or any platform you're using. They come to your DM, you talk to them. You give them a platform for them to express themselves. Like Daddy has said earlier, relationship is very, very important. At first, we do transactional selling. You buy and you go away. But I don't do that. The first time you come to my DM, I will start asking you questions like, what are you into? Do you know what even digital marketing means? Do you even have a skill? And I will start asking you questions. At that point of that question, I am building my customer avatar. I already know the category you fall into. Because it's that category that would help me to tailor the kind of message I need to send to people like you. It is very, very important. So when you have all of these things, then you tailor your selling messages to them. And when you tailor your messages to them, then you begin to sell. Then when you sell, you get conversion. Conversion does not come because you know how to sell. No. Conversion does not come because you are very good in sending sales messages. No. Conversion comes because of relationship selling. Like what we talked earlier, the talk I gave earlier about ATM, it is important you ignited two things in this selling. The KLT factor, the know, like, and trust. They must know you to like you, to trust you. When they know you and like you and trust you, you build your customer avatar. When you build your customer avatar, you get conversion. There's no way of stressing this thing. It is just you understanding the basics. If I tell you there's a particular strategy, yes, there is. If I tell you there's a particular technique, yes, there is. But the truth is that if you don't understand the basic of selling, you can't sell a thing. Just like what Daddy said, the example he used, you are selling a cough medicine and you are coughing and you're expecting me to buy. Or let's just say a guy who is working at a filling station and you are selling a fire extinguisher and you discover that that filling station does not have a fire extinguisher. How do you sell to that person? And you're with your fire. You get what I said? Okay, now there's a filling station.
You said something to a fire station. You know, fire station, and then you.
No, not like that. It's not going to work like that. Okay. There's a filling station where we have attendants that sells for, and you discover that they don't have a fire extinguisher in that place, and you sell fire extinguisher. How do you sell it to them? No, no, you are creating an havoc now. That's not.
Petrol and they don't have fire extinguisher, and I want to sell fire extinguisher to them. So matter not the station.
No. The best thing to do is to walk up to.
So you're not selling the fire extinguisher, having burnt down your fire.
Have you? Have you? So all we have to do is very simple. Walk up to the person. Then the thing is like, sir, how are you doing today? Just have a little rapport. And the next thing is, are you married? If possible, yes. That's a good one. Do you have kids? Yes. Wow. And how long have you been working here? Blah, blah, blah. And have you had any injuries? Okay, no, just not minor injury, just a little cut and blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, okay, fine. If fire starts here now, how do you prevent it? I will run away. That's the typical Nigeria. And you're not like, now, you can actually run away or you got burnt. It is two things. But are you actually considering the life of your loved ones, your wife, your children, and your families? At that point in time, his mind will sit down and relax. He wants to listen more. Because you are not talking about him now. You are addressing his problem. Those are his problems. That's the reason why he's working. He's not working because of himself. He's working because of those people at home. That's his problem. So when you address those people like, why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? Okay, now, you are working here, you don't have a fire extinguisher, and you have a family. If you die today, how would you want them to live? What do you want them to do? Stuff like that. And then, after the entire conversation, if you now bring out your fire extinguisher and sell to him, he will gladly buy. And it's not just selling to him. You will sell to him and teach him how to use it. Because most people don't even know how to use fire extinguisher. I learned it like 2 years ago. As old as I am. So, problem with Nigerians, we don't learn things. So we must learn how to actually see people's problem, tackle their problem first before selling to them. So that's the easiest way to sell. Thank you very much.